Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the United Kingdom in the Midlands. And today I'm bringing you a gorgeous little explosion card using the new Botanical prints medley. So as you can see here, lovely floral botanical images and paper, and don't you just love that little bee? I forgot to show you that last time I did a project, and when you open it's just an explosion card. So an explosion of colour and fun, some lovely little accent die cuts here. It's not a new fold, it's been around a while, but I just thought it was really pretty to make with this paper suite. And so what do you get in that? Well, you can see I've already used lots. You get die cuts. I forgot to show you last time the lovely little honeybees, some laser sheets, white on one side, pretty peacock on the other, die cut accents ready for tags. That's more of the images, and then of course some paper. You can see here lovely floral designs on one side, and then on the reverse you've got floral designs and geometric images all in black and white. And then finally you have a Botanical prints stamp set, lovely images, useful sentiments, and you have coordinating dies as well that cut out those images there. So including these lovely little corner accents as well. So let's get started with our project. Now, as I've used the crushed curry for this one, I thought I'd mix it up a bit and use the terracotta tile for the next project. So let me tidy this away and let's get started. So first of all, you're going to need a sheet of A4 Whisper White cardstock. I've just used standard Whisper White here. I'm going to work it in centimetres, and I'll pop the inches on my blog afterwards as well. So cut at 10 centimetres, and then on the long edge you want to cut at 20 centimetres. Let me just move my blocks out of the way, get that nice and flat. At 20 centimetres. So this is making the equivalent of a 4x4 card, and you're going to score at 10 centimetres as well. So that's our first piece of cardstock. Then you want to take an inner that is 14 by 14 centimetre. Sorry, not that's 14 by 14. So from the rest of the piece of card, cut at 14 and turn it around and cut at 14 again. Okay. Now this piece of cardstock you're going to score at 7 centimetres. Turn it through 90 degrees and at 7 centimetres again. Just make sure that you have got those pretty accurate. Yes, I have. The reason for that is because when you're scoring a diagonal you want to make sure it really does, it works. So I've just gently scored that with my fingers, and then line up the 2 points in the track of your trimmer and score once on the diagonal like so. So that will then fold, and we'll reinforce those score lines in a minute. Next we want a bit of terracotta tile cardstock. So for the front you want a layer that is 9.5 by 9.5, and that is for the front of our the front layer. And then we want another little piece that is 6 by 6 centimetres, and this one is literally just a smidge under that, over that even. So I'm just going to trim to 6 and then cut again at 6 like so. And for the inside I want to no, that's it. That's it on my terracotta tile. What I do want are some pieces of Whisper White. So for those pieces of Whisper White, I need a piece for this section here, and that's all I need. And that is just a 5.5 by 5.5 inch square, which I've already cut just here, like so. So that's going to go on there. Next I want to cut some my DSP, so designer series paper, that goes on the front. That's going to be 9 by 9 centimetres. So that piece can go on the front there as a layer. And then on the inside I wanted a slightly different pattern, again using the terracotta tile. So I'm just going to have a quick look through here, and that's my other pattern that I've got in terracotta tile. So as you can see, so you can vary that up a little bit. And I want two pieces that are 6.5 by 6.5. So you could use the offcuts if you wanted to. That would be fine. I'm just going to pop that. So 6.5 by 6.5. And those pieces are going to, we want two lots, two designs. We want two pieces to go on here, and then we want another two pieces cut in half to go in this section here. So those are my two pieces for the side, and then I want two 6 by 6 pieces, which I'm going to use from my same one that I used on the front. And that's not least of all because I can get it out of that scrap from the front. So 6 by 6, and we're going to cut those in half diagonally. Okay. Now, one of the tips when you're cutting diagonally, once you've lined it up in your track, pop your blade halfway through, cut up and down. If you try and cut into a point, you'll often you'll sort of like catch the point. It won't always cut smoothly. So hold it nice and firm, and then you'll get your two pieces. So pop those to one side as well. And I think that's all my cutting I need to do. No doubt I'll find a piece in a moment that I haven't cut. Right, so now we're on to our construction. So the first thing we're going to do is grab your bone folder and reinforce these creases really well. And what's going to happen is these two here are actually going to come inside. So I fold these two back on themselves, the two sort of square ones, and these two then naturally come in, and then just give that a good reinforce. And if you've cut accurately, you should find that works really well. Open that up and we'll get decorating. So you're going to need some glue, whatever your preferred adhesive is. I'm just going to use my snail here and pop these lovely floral patterns in here. So I tend to do my decorating first, then add my stamped panels. There we go, like so. And when you're adding glue to corner pieces, it's sometimes a bit difficult because of scrap here. But what I find is if I line it up like this, I can get into the corners really well. Separate those out, and then you can add those in. We'll all have our preferred way of doing it. I kind of just eyeball it really. I mean, you could measure if you wanted to, but I find you don't need to. So again, it's what I was saying, was into the corner along that cut edge. There we go. Move that gluey bit out of the way. This is my new attempt to not get my grid paper gluey while I'm actually working on it, especially while I'm demonstrating. There we go. Okay, so there's our basic panels. We've got this little piece here, and what I'm going to do with that is just take one of the images that we've got, and this is a sort of a pretty, almost sort of leaf spray. I haven't cleaned that. Okay, And I'm just popping that along the edge, just to give a little bit of interest. Pop that to one side. So again, we can just add that to our inner panel, like so, and that just gives you a space to write your message. You could obviously add another one on here, you could add a message here, sign it here, up to you entirely, but as long as you keep it in this orientation with the two bigger the non-scored panels to either side, you will be fine. So now let's create the front of our card. So I'm adding this panel flat. No, I'm not. I'm going to add my DSP to it first. Right, basically I meant to add my ribbon, because that's the other thing that comes with this, is some lovely old olive ribbon. So I'm just adding that across the front there. And I haven't put my DSP on either. Oh, it's all going bad inside. This is what happens when things go wrong. Never mind. Okay, so you have two choices. You can either just manage, as I'm going to do here, and add your DSP on by sliding it underneath, or obviously you could take your ribbon off. But as it's DSP, we should be able to just fiddle that underneath. There we go, like so. So the idea is, what you would do is put your DSP on first, then add your ribbon, and then stick it to the card. But, you know, why make life easy for myself? And because I've got ribbon on the back there as well, I'm just going to add some fuse to the back just to kind of make it stick. It's quite thin ribbon. By that I mean it's not too bulky. So you will be fine to just put it on flat, but obviously if you wanted to, you could always add some dimensionals instead. So there's our panel. My front panel I've got here, and I'm actually going to just stamp that with the floral image in terracotta tile, so that you've got just a hint of a pattern. And I've actually stamped and die cut two of the floral images already, and I haven't picked out, I've picked out a die cut. I've actually gone for the kind of orange image. The orange is quite a big one, and with this I'm actually going to put it on dimensionals first and then add the focal image. Because of the sizing, I want to make sure that I get I don't overhang the edges of the cards too much. So I'm just going to pop those on there. So in comes your focal image. I'm just sliding it underneath, popping it in the centre like so. Add a couple of dimensionals onto the back of my ready cut image, cut and coloured, quick and easy. You could obviously cut and colour your own. I'm just sliding that over the top of my ribbon there, but these ones here, I'm just putting a little glue underneath and then sliding them like so. And again, just in the top here, into that top corner. So, all that's left to do is add our centre panel. Now to do this, really easy. You might want to use some wet glue for this. It depends how confident you are, but you certainly want a firm hold. I'm just going to use my tape runner for speed. Don't put it right into the point, but do put it right to the edge. So you'll find that you pop it like so, and there's a tiny little gap there. Add some more glue to the top and fold over, and then you'll find you've got your lovely explosion. And to add our corner pieces, all I use is a little bit of fine glue on the reverse, and I just dab that in place. Now you can use your intricate die cut, you can use double-sided sheets, whichever you prefer. But these little corner accents are so pretty. As I say, you just need to be careful. If you're using Tombow, just make sure you haven't got too much glue on there. You want a glue that dries kind of clear and dry, if that makes sense. Tombow can remain a little bit sticky. So if you've got a glue eraser, you will be fine. And then the final one, before my camera battery runs out, hopefully. Oh, and I haven't done my sentiment. The sentiment's actually from a different stamp set than this. I just loved it. It's a new one that coordinates with the Ornate Frames dies. So while those are doing, let's just add our final little bit, which is my lovely little bee. And one of our little flags. Again, these are really easy to make if you wanted to. If you've got a banner punch or just a decent pair of scissors. So add lots of love in terracotta tile. Add one of our little bees. Glue dots are really good for this. If you've got some strong wet glue, that'll work just as well. So I'm just going to add that. This is a quick, as I say, a quick grab glue, as we call it. And I can just add that with a dimensional on the back there. Maybe it might be quick grab, is not quite quick enough. There we go. Then I can add that just to the top. Here, just about peeking through. So there we have a lovely card using the Botanical medley, the perfectly framed for the sentiment, which goes our ornate frames, and we have a lovely little botanical themed explosion card that would make anybody smile. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me soon, and if you'd like to purchase any of the products, pop along to my blog where you'll find the links to my shop. Alternatively, pop along to heidismith.stampinup.net and there's a shop button there. So thank you very much and see you again soon. Bye bye.